I've always wanted to start a live video with some music. I just love it. And what a song! Anyway. So, it's Sunday and I promised that I was going to start sharing some tools with you. So yesterday we sort of, we went through the background of why I'm doing this event this weekend, what's in it for you, why you should be here, why you should come along, and I invited you. Hey Rebecca, how you going? You missed my dancing. Should I do it again? You ready? Celebration Sunday, right? Okay, I'll turn it off again. I invited you to put into the group, put into the event, your specific situation, where you're at. Are you on a mission? Are you feeling like you know what that mission is? Do you have struggles in actualizing that mission? What are your struggles? I'm here this weekend to help you. I just came back from Rank Makers Live, so pumped up, just like out of Play to Win, right? Just so pumped up to help people with all of the learnings that I've had. Play to Win was massive. Those of you who saw my audition video, I am not the same person today as I was then. The growth across June, July, August, September, 5 months. 5 months, the growth across 5 months has been huge. And I want to share with people how I have achieved that growth and the tools that I have to help you grow that fast, because Ray's right. We grossly underestimate what we can achieve in a short amount of time. And I'm all about making it easy, doing things in a way that flows rather than it being difficult or hard, right? And I am very much into the law of attraction to support with that. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm just going to put my notes out so I can see them, because I don't want to forget anything, right? Because I'm excited. I'm excited to bring this to you today. And so my biggest learning from Play to Win was that you, me, you, and you alone are the source of everything that comes into your life. It's really easy to look to gain, right? We go to Rank Makers Live to gain something that we're lacking. We look to a mentor to gain something that we're lacking. We look to our job to gain something that we feel like we're lacking. But what I realized coming out of Play to Win is that if we're lacking anything, we're lacking it in here, right? And as we fill those inner gaps, we pull out those weeds, we create the foundation for our success in terms of who we are. That is how we gain abundance. We live through it, right? So that was my biggest learning. And so since coming out of Play to Win, I've started to hear I'm too busy a lot. I guess that's law of attraction, realizing that when we're busy being busy, we're going outside of ourselves and we're often distracting from ourselves because what we connect with in here is painful, right? So we become busy and we get busy trying to gain from all of these things outside of us rather than grow what is within us. So I hear that a lot, the busy excuse. And then I see a post like I saw from Jenny Glazer this morning, who had done the opposite, right? She'd gone in and, Christine's here. Hello. You've missed my dancing as well. I'm going to put the song on again. I saw that post from Jenny Glazer this morning, another Play to Win star. We can call ourselves stars now, Christine. And she'd been working on her mindset. She's connected to a coach. They've done some work on her mindset, and she's had this epic shift, right? And it's not just in her business, it's in her relationships with her family and how she shows up in life. So, we skip over these pieces of inner growth, but they are the most important thing to your development, because you are the source of your abundance. And that is what this coaching is on today. That is what this training is on today, because basically your habitual state of consciousness, that personal energy that you vibe out. Hey, Tracy Cook, oh my goodness, we're all on. Determines how much or how little of that infinite good you experience. So I'm saying it, you are the source of your abundance. It's already there within you, but your energy, your habitual state, that is the thing that is going to dictate how much of it you realize. So what is that made up of? And there's a list. There's the 6 things that I pointed to in the title. There's your dominating thoughts. So what are the dominating thoughts in your head? Is it, I can do this, I've got this, I'm awesome? Or is it, this is really hard, I don't know how, I'm not good enough? That is the first thing. Your dominating thoughts are important. Number 2, it's your level of belief. Do you honestly, truly, deeply believe that you can experience the success that you are seeking? And I was honest with my Play to Win crew, right, in Florida, that I still have a little trouble to see myself with that big check. A big part of my journey has been the fight against my scarcity mindset because of the way I was brought up, because of my story, right? So the last 2 years have been big in terms of shifting from a place of scarcity to a place of abundance. And I know that one of the things that still holds me back is the belief of the money side. You know, being the person with that money in my bank. So I'm working on that, not anywhere outside of me, but within me. So number 2, it's your level of belief. I use an acronym with my clients that is BEAR. Belief drives your enthusiasm, which drives your action, which drives your results, right? So if you look at your results right now, and they're not where you want them to be, then you have to go back to the start, and that's at your level of belief, because that is what drives your enthusiasm to take the action. And without the action, there's no results. Number 3, another big part that dictates that level of that habitual state, right, is your way of responding to things that happen around you, because the world is constantly turning, right? Things are always happening. Good things, bad things, ups, downs. How you respond to that is going to affect your habitual state of consciousness and your personal energy, and therefore the kind of abundance that you're attracting into your life. So the good thing is that we can control it with tools. So one of the key tools that I use is gratitude. We can feel gratitude in any scenario, right? And again, I'll use the example of myself. I got a piece of news on the flight back from Florida that wasn't great. It wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't what I was hoping for. And immediately, you know, it triggered some of those little beliefs inside of me that are still there, right? That I'm not good enough. And so I went on a little bit of a pity party. I reached out to Christine and shared my pity party with her. And then on the plane, I sat and I wrote 100 things that I was grateful for. And immediately it shifted my energy vibe. I realized how much of what I want and what I wanted via the thing that I hadn't got was already inside of me, and it's just a case of showing up and giving more, right? And I also had a bit of a learning in those 100 things too. So I wrote these 100 things that I was grateful for, and as I was reading back through them, I realized how broad they were, right? And I realized that my children were just a tiny proportion of the things that I wrote down. And so in that, I realized that we do often try to seek outside of what is obviously already there. And that is where coaching is powerful, because it's based on the principle that all the answers you need, they are there inside of you, right? But our inclination is to seek more, to seek outside of what is there rather than dig in. I could have written 100 things that I'm grateful for just about my children, but I didn't. My inclination was to find other things. And that was another learning coming out of Rank Makers Live too, that I'm seeking these answers as to how to grow my business. And what came out of Rank Makers Live is that I already know the answer, right? It's that simple DMO. It is that simple DMO, and rinsing and repeating it every single day. Sure, I learned other strategies, but the biggest thing holding me back is, again, that belief, showing up, going live, doing things like this, putting myself out there, because that is the thing that triggers my own personal, lacks of belief that I'm working on. Like I said to you, that audition video to now, how I'm able to stand in front of the camera and speak from my heart, it's incredible, right? And so that is shifting me forward. I am shifting myself forward. So think about that. We've got the first one, those dominating thoughts. What are your dominating thoughts? Number 2, what are those beliefs that you've got about yourself, but also about the world that you exist in? How are you responding to events? How are you responding? Are you responding in a negative way that penetrates your personal energy so that you have a low vibe? Do you do that often? Or are you able to take the perspective that everything's happening around you and you are controlling how you respond in the moment so that your personal energy stays high? That personal energy is what drives your manifestation success. You're only going to, just one second.
In our pet club, can we have pizza?
You can have some pizza. Yeah, I'll be out in a tick. That level of energy is what drives your manifestation success. Just like your vibe attracts your tribe, your vibe attracts your vision. If your vision of your success, your fulfillment, your happy life, your successful business, it's vibing high, right? And so for you to be able to attract that, you have to level up your energy to match so that they're like a magnet and they attract each other. Hence the song and the dance at the beginning of the live. Number 4, your relationship with money. Oh my goodness, like this is huge, and it will be determining your success, because there's 2 reasons, right? There's that belief side of it, but there's also, from an energetic perspective, an energetic block. We call money currency because it's meant to flow. It's meant to go in and flow out and flow in and flow out. What Ray does with us in the Wealth Wednesday is help us to shift that block that we have with money so that we allow it to flow, because when it's flowing out, it flows in. And I have this cool tool, I call it the money manifestation tool. And more often than not, people find when they go through the tool that money just appears. Money just appears in their bank account or on their counter or in their back pocket, or they get refunded something because they shift an energetic block that they have with money. So your relationship with money is one of the determining factors of your success. Do you have a scarcity mindset when it comes to money, or do you have an abundance mindset, which means that you believe that there's always enough, that there will always be more, and it's okay to let it go? Number 5, your expectations of sources outside of yourself. Again, my story, I was placing my success in the hands of something external to me. And in doing that, and even just setting our expectation there, we are changing our energy flow, because we're kind of putting it out rather than going in, right? So think about where your expectations are right now in terms of your success in your business. Are you expecting A to happen so B can happen? Are you expecting to get A so you get B? Or are you looking within yourself and the actions that you can take every single day, how you show up to determine your business success? And the final one is your connection to your soul goal. And this is at the core of all my coaching. I am so passionate about helping you to identify literally the reason why you're put on the planet, right? We all have a purpose. Often that purpose is grown through our painful experiences. And they don't even have to be really painful experiences. They can just be things that we go through that are uncomfortable. But they give us this burning desire to fix something, this burning desire to help somebody through something that we know something about, that we've developed tools to help them with, right? That is your soul goal. Your soul goal is when you're doing it, you're lighting up. Like every single part of you is just firing up and feeling amazing. And another tool I use with my clients is the Joy GPS, so that you can start to get to feel what that feels like when you're doing something that's aligned. So manifestation is about reclaiming that soul goal. Often it doesn't go anywhere. You just wander away from it, right? So we go through life and that soul goal is there. Like I say, we're born with it. It's our purpose. But certain things, experiences, conditioning that we receive, the expectations of our parents, the fears that are born out of our experiences, they take us off track. So manifestation is never going to happen until you reclaim that soul goal, until you identify it and you bring your life back in alignment with it. Because we can't try to manifest something. We can't try to manifest. I laugh when I see these books and things that are like, go do this and you will manifest, because manifest is a case of being, right? It's not a case of doing, it's a case of being. And we manifest from a place of being, and that's why abundant people attract incredible things, okay? Having things doesn't necessarily make you abundant. You know, you see the difference there? So it is about becoming, not gaining. Like I was saying before, we are becoming, we are not gaining. And then as we become more of who we truly are and give through that energy, everything else follows. And so that is how I coach. That is the core of my coaching. So how do we do that? How do we become? I'm going to give you the 4 things right now that you have to have as the foundation to become who you truly are. And the number 1 is understanding of who you are. You know, that ability to be authentic, the ability to really, what's the word? Like, acknowledge and be okay with both the good things about you and the bad things about you, so that when you show up authentically, you can go through the discomfort of that. One of the big things coming back from Play to Win was the realization that I really wasn't able to experience vulnerability at all, right? So being raped, being put in a position where my power was taken away, I began to fight literally in all areas of my life to make sure I would never ever be vulnerable again. Never, ever, right? And so that really took me away from being me, because that night that I was raped, I was probably in the most wonderful part of my life where I was me and I was being who I knew I was born to be, traveling, wearing ridiculous boho clothes, you know, living out of a backpack, meeting new people, writing, exploring, adventuring. And when the world came crashing down that night, it gave me this message that was not the way to go, right? So I started to become something different. I started to edit who I really was to avoid that vulnerability. And when I started on my personal growth journey and I started to remember who Claire was and what Claire did, I felt extreme anxiety. And so I developed this mantra, this affirmation to help me go through that feeling of anxiety. And it was, I am embodying the absence of trust. I am feeling myself fly. And it helped me. It helped me to feel like I was experiencing the anxiety of freedom, right? And, you know, it was a positive feeling to feel a negative feeling. But coming out of Play to Win, I scratched that affirmation and I replaced it with, I am embodying the absence of trust and I am feeling myself fall. Because I had to be able to feel that. I'd done everything in my power to fight against falling, because I didn't want to fall and feel that vulnerability ever again. And yet in that vulnerability lay my power to help people, because it is only like our struggles and how we go through them that can impact another person. And we have to be authentic to our strengths and our character, you know. So yeah, I mean, I could go on for hours about that, but it's really, really key. Identify who you are. Start by writing out 5 qualities that are just yours, that are just you. I bet you, if you haven't done this before, you'll find it hard. You'll find it hard to find 5 things about yourself that are unique and yours, because we just, like I say, sometimes get off path of who we truly are. Number 2, work out your values. I do have a tool that I use to help people identify their values, and these are your defining values. These are the values by which you want to live your life. And once we connect with them, it is so empowering, because suddenly decision making isn't hard, because we know what's important to us in life. Suddenly, just everything becomes easier. When I identified my top value in life was freedom, and I looked back in on my life and realized everything in my life was not free, I could change my life. It was a no-brainer. Number 3, create your own rules around those values. Okay, so that's where we get into those beliefs that you have about yourself, about your world. The likelihood is that they're bullshit. They are beliefs that have been conditioned to you because of what you've been through, what you've seen, what you've experienced. So, the idea that we can't change those beliefs is rubbish. We can create our own beliefs based on our own truth and based on those values. So once you know what those values are, start creating new beliefs and start living those out in your life, in your business. Number 4, get the vision of this person that you're putting together. It's like a jigsaw piece, right? The values, the things that you love to do, the person you want to become more of, the place you want to be making an impact. Bring all that together and then create the picture of how that person is showing up, what that person is doing, who that person is impacting, how that person is spending their time, where they're living. Create that vision so crisp and so clear that you can feel it like it's already happening. Rebecca, you said you weren't sure what your mission was, and I encourage you, I invite you to really do those steps of the values, the authenticity, the beliefs, and dig back into your story. There's a way, I can show you a way of looking back with a whole different perspective so that you can see the purpose in that story and the pain that you've been through, so that you can understand how you want to go forward with that, where you want to make that impact, where you're going to answer that calling of your soul goal. So reach out to me if you want some help on that. So have I gone through? I think I have. Yes. Okay. So once you've shifted these things, I want you to believe that the amount of time you spend on action towards your mission being realized, your soul goal being actualized, is going to be less. And it's not only going to be less, it's going to be more easy, because when we're feeling that difficult energy, that struggle, we're not in alignment with who we are, right? We're not taking the actions that are aligned to that soul goal. And often we're doing that because the thing that we have to do the most is the thing that we fear the most, right? So, when you feel that action coming easily, when those doors are opening and the universe is lending her, reaching out her hand, that you're on the right track, and you start to really get in tune with that energy and be able to see when, okay, this is not an action I should be taking right now because I can feel how sticky it is, and know that there's something that you have to learn yet. There's something that you're yet to discover within yourself, or there's something that you don't have yet. So I can teach you to really be in tune with that energy. And I see the hashtag hustle everywhere. Hustle, oh, we're hustling, oh my gosh, yeah, we're hustled, whoo, hashtag hustle. I hashtag no hustle, man, because if you're hustling, you're not doing it the right way. These things, if they are truly in alignment with where you were born to go, the action is going to come easily as long as you're doing the work within yourself. So hashtag no hustle, join me in that one. And when you embody the energy of everything that is already inside of you, right? Instead of adjusting everything to fit those beliefs that you have and to fit the conditioning and to fit the expectation, or even learning new things because you feel like you've got gaps. All of that stuff, when you embody the energy of what is already inside of you, the law of attraction will deliver those big results. So my last question is, who wants those big results to happen before the end of the decade? And who wants the tool to make them happen as well? If that's you, comment below. I will be sharing something really exciting this afternoon. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you got value from it. Christine, thank you for watching all the way through live. Mwah, I adore you, and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.